I'll foreshadow the staff recommendation. And
I think you'd probably have to write a resolution because that's not a resolution.
They're my favourite ones.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So, councillors, we're here for your direction on the use of the site at 129 Gloucester Street. This is the site that is in front of you. I won't go through the history; it's in the report, and we know it well. I suppose I just hope really want to get across. We need a decision today. This is a matter where we'll try our best, but we won't be able to get this ready for the opening of the court, and we'll have to do some additional works around there. But we want to try and be whatever you come up with and whatever direction you tell us to have that very quickly after the opening there. I think one of the key things here, we're not talking something that is hugely significant either to parking supply or to open space in the city. It's one small part of a much, much larger thing. So we just need to potentially keep that in mind, that it's not that large. Just in terms of from the recommended option, where our thinking is at, this shows a mix of car park and open space. It allows for potential for staff car parking for the facilities and potential for accessible parking for patrons in the evenings. Now, if you give us direction for a model that involves parking, we want to work with those venues on the best way of managing that. So we haven't done a lot of work on that at this point because we don't have the clear forward direction, and that's what we're after for you today. So I think at that point I shall be quiet and, subject to the Mayor's agreement, open it up for questions.
Okay, you are right, Bruce, that we do need to make sure we make a decision today because time is against us. If we want to have the place looking tidy one way or another, it is important that we do it. So have Melanie first, then Yanni. Do you have your hand up, mate?
It mentions somewhere in here, I can't find it, about mobility car parking. Is in either option 1 or 3, what proportion roughly would you be looking at for that?
I wouldn't want to actually give a specific figure at this point. We'd want to work with the venues on that, so get an understanding on that. This plan is only showing 2. I think that is too low. We would need to see more than that, but it will be something that is important. There is other parking in the vicinity, but it is a degree of access that would need to be happening with that. You've got to walk for a while or be pushed in a wheelchair for a while. There are drop-off spaces in Gloucester Street, but we will take that, working with the Piano Court and Isaac Third Royal to determine what they think are reasonable needs on that point. But definitely it will be there, and it will be a matter of importance.
While I'm on it, would there be time limited parking? Is that is all of that going to be sort of assessed by? Again,
as I said, we need your direction first. I don't want to spend a lot of time and resource on developing up a scheme and then find it's inconsistent with your direction. So we've got once you've given us your direction, we can work that through. Mm-hmm. One of the options that I think we should really be considering, and is probably first and foremost, is we work with the venues and potentially they're managing on our behalf the car parking. So that allows it to potentially connect access through their ticketing systems, particularly for those with mobility needs. That might be some option. So as long as you give us a clear direction today on which way you want to go, we'll be able to work those details out.
And so would councillors be able to input feedback into that once you've got the plan after direction today?
I always listen to you, so yes.
And this is Pinocchio Rendell. Sorry about that. So, Bruce, you want to walk out of here with either 1, 2, or 3? As long as it's one of them.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So, you done, Mel? Yep. We got Yanni, then Sarah.
Is there a map for each of the options? I just could find it in the.
No. But if to help your imagination, option 3 involves the grey area extending over the green area. Option 2 involves the green area extending over the grey area.
Right. So basically, so where the green area is, you'd be talking about
Come on, guys. It's getting late.
being 20 car parks in there, and you've got 30 in the
Yeah. So, councillor,
50 in one. Yeah.
I've been involved in this stuff for a long time, 30 odd years. I wouldn't attempt to design it. I would rely on the designers to go through. So if you say it's 3, we'd get the designers to work through that. I would be making sure that we share that final design with you once you've given us the direction. But I don't want to have a fully designed design up here now, and then you say, "Hey, we're not interested in that."
Yeah,
And we've
sure.
just wasted a lot
But
of
just
time and money
in terms
on that.
of the parking that's
Yep.
next.
Okay. Yeah.
the court
But, yeah,
theatre.
we need to move along. Carry on. What's your
So,
last quick question, please?
Have you
bud?
thought about the car park going on the other side?
No, we're not
No, we're not designing the thing there.
Okay.
3 options:
Is there-
hybrid, all grass, or car park.
And in all of the options, you can go through, right? So that.
In terms of pedestrian, yeah, I think that's a key point.
So did you consider?
Councillor Johansson's
park
raised a
access
key
from
point
Armour
that
Street?
we will be allowing the access through the piano piazza to the car parking on the other side.
Whatever
that's
happens.
really important, and it's a very key point.
Yep,
So
that
thank
is
you,
the most
Councillor.
important.
Is
bit.
there car park access from Armour Street?
Yep. You can
Yes.
walk through.
No, there's
Thank
difference
you.
between pedestrians.
Thank you.
There's
That's
car
good.
park.
Sarah,
No, it's car park. It's
Sarah?
pedestrian.
Thanks. So if we go for the hybrid option, there's space for things like the sort of little stage that we looked at taking off Gloucester Street. So easing up a bit of space there and putting that on that space for activation for
The-
busking and stuff.
Absolutely, there is space for it. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
And did we have any feedback from those groups who came and wanted to activate this site the first time? So initially it was, Michael Bell and the others from the Landrometer and those kind of things. Have they given
Again-
any feedback about having some space just that publicly?
Again, we haven't explored a detailed design on this because we don't know your direction on it. If we go that we need to have a greater amount of activation space, that's something we can talk to them about. At the moment, I think in our preferred option, you've got a good space that will work really well with the court's education space, which is right at the back of the court theatre.
Yeah.
I can see school kids coming out, having their lunch, sitting on that area, running round while they're doing their events inside. So I think you've got a good option in front of you in that.
okay, I really. Oh, don't everyone keep putting their hand up. Right, we've got 6 ahead of us. Pauline, please, quickly. Okay, so we've got, just so we're on the right track, everybody, we've got Aaron has put up that he's happy with option 3.
I'll second Aaron's if you want.
Oh, it's already done.
Oh, did you? Oh, Kelly.
Jake has said he's happy with the staff recommendation, which is option 1. Okay, so Pauline's question, that's gone. Yeah, everything's seconded. Yep. No, you're thirding it. Stop. Kelly.
Bruce, could you just remind me of the capacity of both venues in full? Sorry.
1150 for Isaac Theatre Royal.
Yeah, and I think between the 2 theatres plus the education, about 300 in the court. But I can get the details on that. I don't have those
So what was
details.
it?
1150 for Isaac Theatre
Yes,
Royal,
you're
and it's around about 450. It's both
Yeah.
venues.
Move
and
to
court
debate.
theatre
So
being-
around 1500.
Okay, stop right there. We're going on forever and ever. I'm going to put it to the vote and get to debate. Otherwise, we're never going to see the light of day out of here. So yeah, that's what normally happens. Okay, so I'm putting the motion that
Debate.
The-
Debate first.
debate first. Oh, okay. Righto, debate, please. Jake.
Yeah. Look, happy to support the foreshadowed option 1, the hybrid model. I thought we had a really good, sensible, pragmatic compromise solution on the table that was good for everyone, adding a substantial amount of car parking, but also adding a bit of green space and a bit of public amenity. You know, there in this area there is going to be an increasing amount of car parking come online. It's a problem that's going to continue to resolve itself, and we're going a long way to resolving that problem here today. Not to mention, it's cheaper. And I think that that's something we really have to bear in mind when spending public money as well. So, I mean, yeah, I would have thought it was a no-brainer.
Okay. Pauline.
Thank you. I totally endorse what Councillor McClellan has just said. It's a pragmatic, sensible and attractive option because it does give us some green space as well, and it's got a great synergy with the Court Theatre, and I love what Bruce said about the educational opportunities there. But also, just in case you're on the fence a wee bit about supporting Councillor McClellan's motion, which I hope you're not, but if you are, the Central City Parking Committee the other day approved car parking on Colombo Street between Armagh and Gloucester. That's the bit where it's currently all fenced off with construction. We were unable to approve any mobility parks in there because it's the physical nature of it is a bit narrow to allow the extra opening for the doors. So there'll be more mobility parks in this hybrid option, which is really good to see. So yeah, please support the hybrid. It's pragmatic and sensible.
Thanks. This might be the third or fourth time I've looked at this site over the last number of years. And one thing that some people around the table may not have been here for, because I think it was last term, was last time we discussed looking at this as a car park. And one of the things we looked at in detail was the availability of car parking in the area, especially for those evening events when both the Theatre Royal, the Piano and the Court Theatre are being used. At the moment, we have the Piano and the Court Theatre, and people are managing. It's not ideal still, but people are managing. Adding on the Court Theatre, of course, is extra demand. But there are over 1,000 spots in car parking buildings less than a 10-minute walk away, and many of them are really close. And you have to remember that during the daytime, those parks might be full with other cars, but at night time, they're mostly empty. Office workers, shoppers, all gone, and even the on-street car parking in the area isn't being used for those purposes. So there is actually a lot of car parking in the area. When you have the number of buildings in this street that have high visitor numbers, so we're including Tūranga there, Theatre Royal, Court Theatre and stuff like that, you do need some public realm space. If we open it up to be just a full car park with like time limited parking, those kind of things, you ruin the safety impact and the walkability of the stuff that's currently on Gloucester Street. And we already know that's going to be an issue with probably having to put the speed back up there. So we do need to make sure that we're not driving too much additional traffic onto Gloucester Street. So having a pragmatic compromise where we have part parking maybe organised by the Court Theatre and the Isaac Theatre Royal, it might be leased, whatever, having some good mobility parking for patrons who can't walk a couple of 100 metres away is a really good idea, and having that activity space outside. You can imagine people standing around, you might be able to fence it off for events, all sorts of bits and pieces. It'll be a great addition to the area, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I do agree with a number of the points that have been raised about the accessible parking, the disability parking close by. I agree with Jake's points around budget. You want a good return for the ratepayers, which is obviously doing the full site in parking is the best return for ratepayers. The cost is not much more for the setup, but the return is $500,000 a year on that many car parks. And if you go to the Court Theatre and have a look at the audience, like they make people like Phil and I look young as the average age of what's at the Court Theatre audience. I'm being realistic here. They have an older audience that need parking close by, and we can promise them 10-minute away car parks, but in the pouring rain or even on cold evenings, which is half the year, those people will suffer having to walk 10 minutes to the Court Theatre. So if we want the Court Theatre, the $50 million project of the Court Theatre to be successful, it has to be accessible. And the only way to make it accessible is to put the parking in. And this is a medium or a medium-term solution. It's not the long-term solution for the area. So it would be good to give both theatres the best opportunity to be successful. And for the other things that people wanted, like those green spaces for people to run around and play in, right behind this is exactly that. Where the Ken's Cameras was on Gloucester Street is exactly what that is. That is open space. It does have the line chip and the AstroTurf and whatever else you want, and there's some seats and things to jump on or jump off. So that space already exists in that same lot, unless it's going somewhere, but we've seen no proposals for the infamous black box that was to go there. So the smart money for the city, and if this table wants the Court Theatre to be successful, will be to put as much parking as possible in that site, but make it look really, really good. So I plead with my councillors that want to make the place successful, and also the most cost-effective, option 3.
Okay, James.
Look, I can't disagree with those who are enthusiastic about green space. It's fantastic in the city, and there's so much more of it. In Christchurch 2.0 post the earthquake, but you have got Victoria Square there. You have got the Avon Otakaro green space, that links along the Oxford Terrace, Avon River Promenade. So the reality is, though, that this is the central city. It's a hub for people. A metropolitan melting pot for all of the city, with a lot of activities going on there. And at the end of the day, it's wonderful to have parks and everything, but people have actually got to get in there. And of the 1,000 or so car parks that are often bandied around, the lion's share of these are permanently leased spaces, 24 hours per day. So it means they are absolutely no use to the public. And I think the fact of all of this comes back to what's critical for the success of the Performing Arts Precinct. And it's wider than just the Court Theatre, as we know. There's the Isaac Theatre Royal, the piano, the Central Library in the form of Tūranga. They all need more parking. All of the business cases show that. Forget even the Court Theatre's own business case that was predicated on a car parking building, which now isn't happening. But there's an undersupply of car parking in the area. You can use permanent parks all you want in arguments, but I'm really interested more in how it tangibly affects our residents, and there is an undersupply of parking. So with the Court Theatre opening in May 2025, we've got to get moving. Look, we're talking about 80 car parks versus 50 car parks, but the truth is the third option results in more revenue. More revenue for the council because of the increased number of car parks, and it meets a demand the community is requiring. So at around $700,000, I don't see this as just an expense, it's an investment. Council can generate revenue from parking fees while ensuring the land serves a practical, high demand purpose. So fundamentally, a hybrid or green space, it's not going to solve the parking issue, and it risks turning this underused problematic site, or it risks continuing this being an underused problematic site when there's actually an opportunity there. So look, rightly or wrongly, the decision around the car parking building was to not proceed with that, and that's the decision that the council made. But the truth is, the best way to maximise the return on the investment and genuinely meet that market demand is to do this properly. And I think having a hybrid or half-baked solution there just really shortchanges those that have invested in the area, those who are going to be patrons and of the facilities in this area, and ultimately ratepayers. So for me, it's about real everyday usability, not just a theory. I don't think visitors should have to struggle to park more than they already have to when a solution is within reach here. And the only other thing I'd say too, to add on that is, of course, there's the older customers and patrons that have mobility issues, but you've also got a library there. And the amount of parents and everything that you see going there with young children, with car seats and prams and strollers, a lot of those other modes of transport just aren't viable. So meet a need in the market and bring in the revenue for the council. So totally support option 3. It's the only sensible way to go.
We have got 3 people who are preferring the hybrid option. We have 2 people in debate so far that have said they want all the car park. And I believe it's reasonable for me to move to the vote under section item 17.15. So we'll get on with it. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. So I'm now putting this option here, which you see in front of me, which is Aaron and Kelly. And we know there's a foreshadow one right after it. And that's for complete car park. Do we understand? That's option 3. Okay. So I'll put that motion. All those in favour of what you see there? Aye. Against? No. You're on, Sam. We should do that.
Okay, this is the division for option. This is the division for option 3, as you see on screen. Councillor Templeton. Councillor McClellan. Councillor MacDonald.
Yes.
Councillor Johansson. Councillor Fields. No. Councillor Moore. Councillor Donovan online.
No.
Councillor Coker. No. Councillor Peters.
Yes.
The Mayor.
Yep.
Councillor Scundrett.
Yes.
Councillor Barber.
Yes.
Councillor Kewen.
Yes.
Councillor Goff.
Yes.
Councillor Henstock.
Yes.
Councillor Harrison Hunt.
Oh,
Deputy Mayor Cotter.
just one more vote, guys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against.
Okay, so that's lost. Now we do the
Staff recommendation.
staff recommend. Just yes.
And shall we just reverse the voting?
So please don't anyone say division on this. Vice President. All those in favour of the staff recommendation say aye.
Aye. Division.
Again?
Division.
Why don't you? Could we ask that you just simply record those who
Reverse
supported the
the
last
votes.
one as opposed to that, and then
Just
move
reverse
on?
it.
Is anybody changing? We do need to go into.
Can you just record my vote in
So
opposition
that-
along with
we have
the
to
7
do a
others?
division.
Oh, we have to do a division? Okay.
It's been called for.
You've been busy today, Sam?
This is a division for the staff recommendation. Councillor Moore. Yes. Councillor Johansson. Yes. Deputy Mayor Cotter. Yes. Councillor McClellan. Yes. Councillor Barber. No. Councillor Goff.
No.
Councillor MacDonald.
No.
Councillor Kewen.
A reluctant compromising yes.
Councillor Fields.
Yes to spending less.
The Mayor.
I'm getting all confused here. No. Aaron's fuzzled my mind.
Did you get the narrows? Councillor Scundrett.
No.
Councillor Harrison Hunt.
Yes.
Councillor Coker. Staff recommendation. Councillor Templeton.
Yes to the pragmatic compromise.
There's a first for everything, isn't there?
Councillor Donovan online.
Yes.
Councillor Peters.
Reluctantly, yes.
Councillor Henstock. 1, 2, that's a no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Whatever
6,
it is.
7, 8, 9,
That's
10,
one.
11, 4.
Okay.
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 Right, next one.
Okay.
We'll do number 8, that one, shall we?
Yeah.
We'll go to number 8. We've still got miles to go. Don't start getting your bag out as if you're leaving, you know.
Actually, why don't we do some of the staff reports and force people to stay?
Victoria, James.
You'll move which one, Sam?
Which one? I don't know.
Okay. Right. So we're now, excuse me everyone, we're now on item 8 and Sam has moved it and
I'll second it.
Mark will second it.
You need to vote.